Hello everyone, this is the podcast I told you I'll post on my blog. Since you're not having enough of me at school, I'm following you to the home, and instead of doing anything fun, you're watching me now. Okay, so we're talking about classification this term, and as I told you, classification is a science invented by humans because humans are obsessed in organizing everything. So here, and also they organize living things. So they tend to put every single living creature in a group or a family or an order, etc. The first one who started the newest classification is called taxonomy. He started it. This guy, you should remember who he is. This is Carolus Linnaeus, and he started the taxonomy. He came up with binomial nomenclature, which is that each species has two names, one capital letter, one. You remember. And and he came up with this classification of taxons, which is kingdom to species. And yes, so he came up, or on his time, he came up that the highest taxon, which is kingdom, we had five kingdoms. So all living things are in one of those five kingdoms. And this is the five kingdom classification system, where the five kingdoms are the following. We have the Monera, the kingdom Monera, which is the prokaryotes that we know, which are the bacteria and the prokaryotes. Then we have the Protista, which are eukaryotes, but mostly unicellular. So, like the amoeba, which is a unicellular organism that causes diarrhea, or paramecium that's found in filthy water, or the algae, for example. Okay, the third kingdom is the fungi, like the mushroom, like the yeast, and these have different characteristics that they had to be put alone in a separate kingdom. And of course, the last two kingdoms are either plants or animals. Okay, this was followed until the 1950s, but then there was the breakthrough in the science of genetics and the science of DNA, and therefore scientists have discovered a new species, not new species, a new type of organisms which are called archaea. Archaea are also unicellular organisms, but they have similarities with prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So they don't have a nucleus that's like prokaryotes, but they have proteins and ribosomes or things inside them that are very similar to the eukaryotic organism. So they needed to be put in one different group. So the new classification system came up with a new taxon, which is above kingdom, and we call that domain. So now we have domain, kingdom, phylum, etc. until species. And we've outlined three domains. These three domains are bacteria, the first domain, which was the same kingdom as Monera. Now it's a separate domain, and it includes all the bacteria, the prokaryotes. A domain called Archaea, and a domain called Eukarya. Now Eukarya will split into the remaining kingdoms, which are the four remaining kingdoms: Protista, fungi, animals, plants, since Monera is now the bacteria. This is another picture of the tree of life, or the three domain classification. So we have Archaea, then Archaea will classify into kingdoms, phylums, etc. We're not very interested here. We have the bacteria that will classify or branch into phylum, etc. And we have the eukaryotes, which will branch, as you can see, into plants, animals, fungi, protists. These will branch into phylums, then, until we get to the species at the end. Okay, and this is the two classification that you need to know: the three domain classification, the five kingdom classification system. hopefully this was helpful. This is my first trial of making this podcast, so I appreciate your feedback. I know the sound isn't very good, but at least we tried it. Okay, so see you next class and goodbye.